Having a chance to kind of see the guys in a scrimmage type situation, how you feel like everybody's progressed through the spring?
We were doing a lot better job as far as getting lined up and the communications increasing. But the physicality, we got to get more physical on D. Today the offense, had their mindset that they will run the ball, and they lined up and they ran it, and they're going to make us fit plays and be physical. For our guys, we just got to make sure that we get progress each and every day, film studies, execution on the field. Today I thought, again, the alignments were better, but we had to get more physical on defense.
With what you guys are doing with the linebackers, are the outside guys, can they flip pretty interchangeably?
Yeah, they're doing a lot as far as, when the guys are playing, when the tight ends start to move around. So, yeah, the outside guys are more likely, the word you just said, interchangeable. Sometimes, we got multiple fronts. So the Sam and the wheel linebackers, we ask them guys to do a lot for us as far as, setting edges and spilling balls and that kind of deal. But for us, we just got to get our guys, when we call those calls where, when all of a sudden you might be the wheel and all of a sudden you're the Sam linebacker, having that mindset of what your responsibilities are. It just takes a lot of reps and a lot of film time to get into that comfort zone.
How do you get more physical in practice, especially spring practice, when you already got some guys beat up?
No, you just practice it. Whatever you preach, that's what you get from your players. And our whole spring, that's all we keep pondering on. Is just we got to be more physical on defense. And part is just knowing when the ball is at and where to fit on the football play. If you don't fit it right, then it's not going to be a pretty picture. So you want to beat guys to the point of attack, knowing where the ball is designed to go to, and beating your one-on-one blocks. That's part of, again, getting ourselves lined up in the correct positions. That helps us get there where you don't fit outside of a play when you're supposed to fit inside of a play. Being 2 feet or a yard off an alignment can be disastrous if you don't know exactly where you're supposed to fit on football plays.
Can you ever get to the point where a coach is satisfied with how physical a team is?
No, you never get there. You can always be more physical. The great defenses, they harp on that. You stress it over and over and over again. And you never say, I'm satisfied with it. You can always hit a little bit harder.
We heard a lot of talk about Frost and about Swain. Hadn't heard much about Justin Garrett. What's his status?
No, to me, Justin is, he's pushing Darren a lot. They're the same type of player. Darren just got 2 or 3 years on him as far as playing experience, but they're the same kind of guy. They both are fast. They got unlimited range. I like the competition between that position. That's probably one of the better positions for guys to compete for a starting job. Frost and Swain a long way away in my opinion. I think JG, he's made a lot of mental reps, but every day he gets a little bit better and better on his alignments and assignments and his communication. But I'm very pleased on where Justin is at.
Could there be a time when you decided to move him to the other side?
That would be that's a Cheer's decision there. If we ever decided to have 4 or 5 our best linebackers, we wanted our best linebackers on the field. I think that would be a Cheer's and Van Gorder's decision to say, okay, these are our best 3 guys, and now let's move one to Sam, move one to Will, and then get another Mike out, get a Mike on the football field. If those are our best 3 guys, that being JG and Darren, that might be something for consideration from the head coach.
Just talk about what you've seen out of Jake Hall in the spring, kind of in that middle of
You got to get him to the point where he takes over a defense, and get him to that comfort level. And it's got to be every day. It can't be some days, you take command of the huddle. It's got to be every single day. You're the general. You're the general on defense. The guys are looking into your eyes, and so you got to have that wolf mentality or that gladiator mentality. And you can't have your eyes down, can't slump your shoulders down when things go bad. So we need that. We need that leadership from him. You've played a year now, a year and a half. You've been around the system. You played, 12, 13 games last season. So now you got to take command of it. And so for me, it's a lot of times right now a lot of guys are just in that survival mode. Can I get myself lined up? And that's where you have to take pride and come in on your own and take a pen and paper and start writing where everybody's at. That's when guys, your players respect that. Your players respect when your linebacker knows where everybody's supposed to be at. And then if a play busts, he can go into the hole and get it fixed then without having to come to the sideline. That's the expectation level that we have from the Mike linebacker. and I'm hoping that Jake can meet that challenge.
That was Jawar doing before he got hurt.
Just okay. Again, because he had been playing Sam last year, and he was playing a new position, so he was, kind of feeling his way through it, making a lot of mental errors. But that's kind of like expected of everybody right now. A lot of guys are making those same mental errors. But he's doing well up until that point. It's just a tragedy that of his circumstance just happened recently.
Go back to Jake. Do you see signs of him taking that leadership role?
Depends on how much you want to work. It's from now until till September is a long time away. And if a guy works at it every single day, if he puts 20, 25 minutes a day, he'll look like a completely different player. If you don't do that, you'll look right where we started at now. So it's all up on the individual in this part of it, because again, the guys that learn this system and know where everybody's at and all the checks and the ins and outs of it, those are the guys that's going to play. And right now, because we're in practice 7 and 8, and then we got all the way up until again to September to get the system down. If you don't do anything until the end, no, you won't get it. That's any of them. So again, to answer your question about Jake, it's depending on how hard he works in the off season to learn the defense. Good. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Commissioner Goodell might